What's happening, Panda Nation? This is Peter here, and one of the cars that I was most excited about was the new Dodge Charger Daytona. It looked like it was going to be a true muscle car. It reminded me of the Dukes of Hazzard General Lee that I loved so much as a kid. It really had that same dramatic styling, and for the first time, I thought I might be in a position to actually buy a childhood car of my dreams that has all the amenities of a modern car. But as the car came out, I wanted it less and less. And apparently so did a lot of other people, so I looked into it to figure out why a car as highly anticipated as the Dodge Daytona collapsed as soon as it came out. So this is called the Fratzonic flop, how Dodge's electric muscle car crashed and burned. Picture this, it's supposed to be the ultimate electric muscle car, 670 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. A synthetic exhaust that hits 126 decibels, as loud as a rock concert? The Dodge Charger Daytona was Dodge's bold bet on the future of American muscle. Instead, it became what tech reviewer MKBDH called the Fratzonic flop. This is the story of how Dodge took everything that made muscle cars legendary and lost it in translation. The hype train derails. Let's rewind to 2022. Dodge was riding high. The Hellcat era had turned the company into the king of absurd horsepower. But there was a problem. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares had declared war on V8 engines. The legendary Hemi was about to die, and with it, the soul of Dodge. So Dodge made a radical announcement. They created the world's first electric muscle car. Not just any EV, a proper tire-shredding, ear-splitting beast that would make the Tesla Model S Plaids look like golf carts. CEO Matt McClear declared, "Approach the Charger Daytona as a muscle car first and an EV second." Bold words, but as we'll see, they forgot to make it a good electric car in the process. The Fratzonic fantasy. The centerpiece of Dodge's electric muscle car fantasy was something called the Fratzonic chambered exhaust. Basically, a 600-watt speaker system pretending to be an exhaust pipe. Named after the obscure Fratzog logo from the 1960s Dodges, a logo so forgettable that even Dodge had forgotten what it meant, the system promised to make EVs sound like muscle cars. Engineer Audrey Moore explained, "It is basically a box with chambered systems for the airflow, and you do have two big speakers in there." But here's the rub, it actually doesn't fool anyone. When the Charger Daytona accelerates, you hear the whir of electric motors first and then synthetic V8 sounds that feel as authentic as a tribute band. Road and Tracks reviewer put it bluntly, simply making a racket might be enough to grab the eyeballs of passerbys, but the sound doesn't do anything to keep a driver engaged. The weight of expectations. Now let's talk about numbers. The Charger Daytona Scat Pack weighs 5,838 pounds. That's 1,800 pounds heavier than a Tesla Model 3 Performance. It's heavier than a Toyota Tundra pickup truck. All that weight means that Daytona's impressive 670 horsepower doesn't feel that impressive. Its 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 time sounds fast until you realize a Tesla Model 3 Performance does it in 3.1 seconds for $20,000 less. And then there's the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, a car that not only matches the Dodge Performance, but weighs over 1,000 pounds less and costs significantly less money. Grassroots Motorsports noted, "It's weird saying a 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 is not spectacular, but in a category where the 3-second barrier is regularly flirted with, it takes a big statement to make a splash." Missing the point entirely. But the real problem wasn't the performance, it was that Dodge completely misunderstood their audience. Muscle car buyers want three things: affordability, character, and V8 rumble. The Charger Daytona delivered none of these. The base RT starts at $61,590. The Scat Pack, $75,185. Add options and you're looking at $85,000. Tesla Model S Plaid money. For that price, muscle car fans could buy a new Mustang GT, a used Challenger Hellcat, and have money left over for modifications. And here's the kicker, Dodge marketed it to the wrong people. EV buyers like Tesla fans don't care about fake exhaust sounds. Muscle car enthusiasts don't want an EV at all. One Mopar Insiders forum member summed it up. The truth is, Chrysler should have been the brand to kick off the Mopar EV movement, not Dodge. This was Carlos's way of killing the brand's image. The sales disaster. The proof is in the numbers. In the first quarter of 2025, Dodge sold just 1,947 Charger Daytona EVs in the United States. That's 22 cars per day across the entire country. Here's how embarrassing this is. Dodge sold more discontinued 2023 Chargers, 1,052, and Challengers, 922, than their brand new EV. Cars that have been out of production for over a year were still outselling the future of muscle cars. Ford, facing their own 32% sales decline, still moved 9,377 Mustangs in the same period, nearly 5 times what Dodge managed with their new electric flagship. Desperate dealers started offering massive discounts. Lease deals dropped to $299 monthly. Cash rebates reached $12,500. Some dealers marked them down over $40,000, bringing $75,000 cars to $30,000. What went wrong? So, what killed the electric Charger? Let's count the ways. First, the technical compromises. Despite promises of 800-volt architecture and multi-speed transmissions from the concept, the production car got stuck with a 400-volt system and limited 183 kilowatt charging, slower than competitors. Second, the identity crisis. It was too heavy and expensive for EV buyers, too electric for muscle car fans. As one reviewer noted, it's like trying to make a vegan burger taste like beef. You please nobody. Third, the corporate politics. Former CEO Carlos Tavares' apparent disdain for American brands led to a rushed, half-baked product. Industry insiders suggested Tavares wanted Dodge to fail as part of his European vision for Stellantis. And finally, the competition destroyed them. The Hyundai Ioniq 5N provided better performance for less money. Tesla dominated on tech and efficiency. Traditional muscle cars like the Mustang still deliver authentic thunder. The real tragedy. The saddest part isn't just that the Charger Daytona failed, it's that it could have succeeded. Dodge had the platform, the brand heritage, and the resources to create something special. Imagine if they had launched with the promised 800-volt architecture, sub-3-second acceleration, and genuine innovation instead of gimmicks. Imagine if they'd priced it competitively instead of chasing premium margins. Some reviews were actually positive about the car's basics. The chassis was solid, the interior spacious, the styling properly aggressive. But these strengths were overwhelmed by the execution failures and tone-deaf marketing. One automotive journalist observed, "The Charger Daytona is precisely what the EV market needed: style, substance, performance, and personality." Unfortunately, that's not what Dodge delivered. The competition gets it right. While Dodge fumbled, others showed how it's done. The Hyundai Ioniq 5N created fake shifts and engine sounds, but made them interactive and engaging. The car felt like a gas-powered sports car, not an EV playing dress-up. Ford Mustang's Mach-E, despite some criticism for the name, proved that electric performance could work. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. It was a good electric vehicle that happened to be fast. Even Tesla's Model S Plaid, with its yoke steering wheel and alien interior, felt more coherent in its vision than Dodge's confused muscle car cosplay. Is the future still electric? Dodge isn't giving up. The promised Banshee variant with 1,000 horsepower is still coming. The gas-powered 6-pack models aim to bridge the gap, and the 4-door Charger Daytona hopes to attract more practical buyers. But the damage is done. The brand that once owned the muscle car segment now looks like it's playing catch-up in both gas and electric markets. CEO Matt McAleer maintains optimism, saying Dodge is about pushing boundaries. But with sales languishing and massive incentives needed to move inventory, those boundaries are looking more like walls. Lessons learned. The Dodge Charger Daytona EV teaches us that heritage alone doesn't guarantee success. You can't just strap speakers to a battery pack and call it a muscle car. You can't charge premium prices for compromised performance, and you especially can't ignore what your customers actually want. The future of performance cars may be electric, but it sure shouldn't look like Dodge's first attempt. True electric muscle cars will be quicker, lighter, and more honest about what they are. The Fratzonic chambered exhaust may be the loudest expression of Dodge's electric ambitions, but in the end, it sounds more like a death rattle than a roar. The muscle car is dead. Long live the muscle car.